Hello! How are y'all doing today? How's it going, everybody? Yo! I see you've gotten the Iron Mouse, subathon, like, emotes, too. Welcome in, Healy. Welcome in, Mac. I went to, like, combine Healy and Mac because you put the word, because of Heyo, and I was just like, hello, heck! But I stopped myself, so good. How's it going, everybody? So yeah, today will probably be a little bit of a shorter stream. I guess I should start with that. So I was setting up my fish tank for the trip because it's a good idea to kind of give them a little bit of time to be comfy before you, at least a day of them being comfy before you, like, leave them for long periods of time. So, you know what I mean? I changed the water out, and cleaned all the algae, and I even put in the 2-week feeder thing for them. So, which, for the record, I thought it was going to be like a hay bale of, like, fish food. Like, it was going to be like the little fish flakes, but, like, compacted into a big puck that when you added water would slowly dissolve and it would, like, slowly release flakes. No, it's just like a lump of refried beans, but, like, that smells like fish food and is probably made out of bugs or something. It was gross. But yeah, but yeah, that is in my fish tank, and the fish are already eating it. Yeah, my little yellow fishies. I also got little stripy ones, too, that are silver and with blue stripes. But sure, it's a fish's 3-course meal. Yeah, exactly. That, I'm sure they'll be eating great. And it's a pretty big puck, so supposedly they should be fine for somewhere between 7 days and 2 weeks, according to the packaging. So, and also my fish can go a day without eating. So even if they get it all eaten before I get back, as long as it lasts them the majority of the time I'm gone. I also have one of my other units coming by around the halfway point in my trip to come check on them. So, are boys or girls? So, the stripy ones, I have no idea. They're kind of a mix, and they don't have a very obvious gender sign. They're hard to gender. But they're like a schooly fish. They're supposed to be in big groups. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense. But my yellow and black fish, they are one boy, one girl. And that might have been a mistake, but they haven't done anything yet. So I'm going to go ahead and just assume that that is fine. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Also, I guess worst case scenario, I could always just, like, sell the babies, because apparently I got a really good deal on them. Because according to the internet, they're, like, a $40 fish, and I bought them for, like, $5 each. So, I mean, gonna come back and you'll become a grandparent? Oh, no. Oh. You know, honestly, my bigger concern with that would be that they would have eaten all the food. That's a lot more fish suddenly in my fish tank that I'd have to worry about. But, yeah, but yeah, I was doing a bunch of stuff to try to set up for the Twitchcon trip, and that's why stream is starting a little bit late. So, sorry about that. I know that we're about to go on a week without streams at all, or any content, really, but I'm doing my best. Dang it. yeah, hi. Sorry. But yeah, and I also trying to clean my house up a little bit, because, that's another thing. You ever go on trips, like, you know what the worst thing from a trip is? Is you go somewhere, like, away, and you know, you get used to, like, a hotel room or something, and then you come back, and it's like, your house is messy, and you're like, oh, right, I don't live this glamorous hotel life normally. You know? So, it's always good to clean your house, like, right before you leave. But yeah, I... But I have, tonight after work, too, to clean up a little bit more. And, tomorrow morning. So, there's that. Also, just, while I was getting set up today, I figured out something I can do with my model that I didn't actually realize I could do. And that's, I can do, like, I can, like, do, like, mouth tilts. And I never noticed I could do that before. Isn't that cool? I didn't know I could do that. Yeah, it feels terrible to come home back to a mess of a home after... Yay! Yeah, for my face tracking. I didn't know that that was a thing I could do. Like, if I move, like, my bottom jaw one direction. I didn't know I could do that. But yeah. But yeah, I do have a game that I did pick out as, like, a short little whatever game. So, we might play that today or tomorrow. I might hinge on it being tomorrow instead, because, just for the simple fact that, I would probably be able to start more on time. So, which is this dumb, like, Calorie Mate platformer, licensed platformer. If you don't know what Calorie Mate is, it's like a Japanese meal replacement drink. Well, not even a drink. Well, they have drink ones, and it's an ad for the drink ones. But it is it's like these bars that are like cookies, and they don't taste very good, but they're a whole meal's worth of stuff compacted into like a cookie. And they have a bunch of different flavors and kinds, and in Japan, they're really popular. They were in Metal Gear Solid. If I remember right, they used to be a like a military thing from like I want to say World War II, and then it became like a lifestyle thing afterwards. Yeah, and it's like just an entire meal in a cookie, and like a cookie biscuit thing. They're Japanese too, and like I said, they sponsored a couple of the Metal Gear Solid games. So they're just an item you can get in Metal Gear Solid. So I always think they're really cool just for that reason. They don't just have drinks and the cookies. They also have jelly. And that's something that I think is really cool that Japan does. Like, they're really big fans of jelly drinks, is what I kind of want to call them. But they have these, like, pouches with, like, a jelly inside that you drink. Or, like, eat. What is it called with a jelly? And I don't know, something about that just as a texture just seems kind of fun to me. Yeah, like, it's kind of like baby food, I guess. Or, like, a Jello. Like, I don't know. But something about the fact that they just put all sorts of things in jelly and then sell it as, like, a common snack drink thing there, and that's like a super common thing in Japan, just seems kind of fun to me. Like, you'd be hard pressed to find any sort of like by itself consumable jelly here. Everything is made for you to like eat it on toast or something. So I don't know. I just think those are fun. I really like those like applesauce packets a lot. I get the applesauce packets a bunch. Although apparently, not the brand I use, but the brand that a brand that I have bought of applesauce, of the little applesauce versions of those. I don't buy them very often. I used to buy applesauce packets all the time because um I had family members who would get sick, and that was like the one of the only things they could eat regularly was applesauce and crackers and stuff. Anyway, so we just always had them in the house after they got sick for a bunch of times in a row. Um, but now that I live on my own, I don't buy them very often. I do buy them sometimes just because they're fun. But yeah, one of the major competitors of the applesauce brand I buy, and one of the brands that I have bought before, apparently got like in trouble for having like lead in the applesauce, and I'm just like, how do you get lead in applesauce? What are you doing to this applesauce to have lead in it? A product like that in the Nordics as well. Same guys as popular juice brand. Well, that sounds cool. Yeah, we don't have stuff like that here. It's all just like pure drinks or pure food. We don't have like, other than like applesauce, we don't really, and some other things kind of like that. We don't really have other like pouch snacks, drinks, things. We don't have that. Okay, yeah, basically. Lead in a food product? How does, I mean, like, I can understand it with liquids because lead pipes were so prevalent not that long ago. Like, my parents, all the pipes were lead. So, and like, in America, we're still getting rid of them because there's, all the pipes are so spread out across, like, buildings that, like, even if you replace one building, you could be getting some amount of lead in, like, your water from, like, 3 buildings down and stuff like that. And it's just, like, or, like, from a random underground pipe that water went through, stuff like that. So I can understand lead in, like, liquids, but, like, applesauce is just pureed apples. Like, what containers are you using to make this? How is lead getting into it? I don't understand. But I live on the West Coast where we basically never had any lead products. We never used lead for anything, so I don't know. I just don't understand how that happens. Although, funny enough, in like the Roman era, they actually used lead for everything because it was safer. Because if they made lead-lined stuff, the lead version of rust stopped like the lead poisoning from happening. So essentially, they would get like the rust version of lead, like the lead version of rust, and they would let the pipes like rust over, and everyone before then would just get the lead poisoning because it's the Roman Empire. But afterwards, after the rust stuff formed, it was just safe water. And like the Romans at least somewhat knew this and would basically just knew that people would get sick if they had new pipes, and they just dealt with it. And I think that that's kind of funny. Obviously, it's not like pipes. It's like the bottom of like I can't remember exactly all the details for how that works. Because obviously, I don't think they had, like, indoor plumbing. I know they didn't have indoor plumbing in the Roman Empire, but they had, like, the equivalent of a pipe. I need to... You know what? Get back to me on that one. I'm going to look that back up again before I keep talking. Can apple squishers made out of lead or something? Yeah! Yeah, probably something to do with the aqueducts. All I know is it was cool. It was just, like the Romans knew to accommodate for lead poisoning, and it's something that everyone just forgot about. I would assume you should be able to, like, pre-treat it then by leaving it in, like, a tank of water. Or whatever causes the, like, the process that makes it safe and just make bigger pipes. I don't know. And like I said, I need to look into that a little bit more before I keep talking about that. Damn, apple squishers made out of machines made out of lead. Mercury, hello! Can't imagine how many things we've forgotten as a species that could be helpful today. Yeah, that is so true. Like, honestly, I think one of the biggest changes one could actually make as like a time traveler to like dramatically improve and or change humanity would be to go back to like the Roman Empire or the Greek Empire and give them a printing press so that they can mass produce books. Because if suddenly like knowledge is easy enough to spread that they could like mass produce books, that if they made knowledge sorry, I sneezed. Like 5 times actually. That was a lot of sneezing. But yeah, if I was a time traveler, that would be one of the things I would go back and do. Because like if you just give the biggest, most widespread empires of like early history, especially like those two, something like a printing press where they could mass produce all of their knowledge so that like you could really spread it into like all the reaches of Europe before their collapse, or potentially even like help prevent their collapse, then you could change history so dramatically just by getting to have everything written down and like really disseminated. What if there was backups to like the Library of Alexandria? What if there was like 3 or 4 of those? Like the big library that burned down, Alexander the Great had all of his soldiers take every piece of writing, copy it down, and send 1 copy to the original owner and 1 copy to the Library of Alexandria for archiving. Literally every piece of written down anything, including like personal journals and shopping lists, for some reason. Like some of that seems a little bit ridiculous, but like the Library of Alexandria had all that info and it got burnt down. So like imagine if we had like 7 or 8 of those just all throughout Europe. That would have been possible if they had a printing press. So believe it or not, I don't know if anyone else does stuff like this, but I have made it a thing to actually like make sure I know how to build stuff like that, certain things like that. So in my head, off the top, like I have made sure that I have the information of like how to make a printing press. Specifically so that if I ever get time traveled or like the apocalypse happens, I could make a printing press. There's some other ones like that, but the printing press one is relevant to what I'm talking about. And just like some key pieces of technology that, because, you know, obviously I don't think everyone needs to know how everything works, but I think that more people should know like the technology that led to our current technology. I also I think a lot of that kind of stuff can actually lead to innovations just by having that in like the cultural whatever. Honestly, so in school, did you guys in school, how many times did you guys wait, you're not all American. So I will talk about the American version. In school, I was taught US history around 6 times. I was taught it in like 2nd or 3rd grade, 5th or 6th grade. You know, I was taught it all again in 5th or 6th grade. I was taught it another time in middle school, another time in high school, we were taught world history with a significant focus on the American history part. Literally, as soon as America existed, it was just American history again, but in fast forward. Like, we stopped talking about any other country, basically, after America existed. Which, it just seems like bad education. And then, in college, I had to take another US history class. So, and part of me thinks, you know, it would have been a really cool, useful class, other than that, is, how about, like, some basic human history? And, like, obviously, we don't know exact human history, like, way, way back when. But we could talk about, we could sit and have, like, a unit on, like, early human technology and stuff. Like, because, like, imagine, like, a good example is, at one point, it's just in that same, like, line of logic, like, what happens if I time travel, or the, you know, society collapses? What is stuff that I have no idea how to make? And I've had that thought, and I've been out of my way to learn things. Like, one of the big ones where I'm like, I've never picked up on this in knowledge, in any other way, was fabric. I'm like, how do you make fabric? Because I was like, because I get the idea of how you make string and rope. You know, you take fibery things, and then you, like, spin them. And you sit and twist them until they're really strong. And the further, you can break it down further, and, like, really, like, grind out little tiny fibers and make thread. Or you could keep bigger fibers and you can make rope. Or if you want really good rope, you can have little tiny fibers, make a lot of little tiny fibers, and make really big make really big strands and make rope that way. So, but that's how you make rope. But, like, fabric, I'm like, there's no way that they're taking individual strings and, like, weaving them through each other. That can't be, like, how people used to make fabric. I feel like people would probably be like, that's not worth the time. Right? And I can't imagine people were always wearing, like, leather pelts and stuff through, like so much of history. Like, leather and, you know what I mean? Like, people had sheep since, like, before, like, the year 0. And were making wool stuff. So, like, I had to, like, you have to imagine people were, like, making fabric, right? So, I went and looked up how to make fabric. And I had no idea how to do that. And you know what, immediately when I learned how to do that, I was like, there is so many cool things you could make fabric out of. Why don't we do that? I actually, like, sat and was like, thinking, like, I actually had a fun time trying to think of other things, like, I could make fabric out of. And I never even did it. But it was just, like, the fact that I'm like, now that I know how it works, I could do that. Like, you can make, and you can, like, reuse fabric out of stuff, too. You know, dryer lint? You can easily turn dryer lint into felt. I didn't know that. I learned that by, like, looking stuff up after I learned how you make fabric. Isn't that cool? And, like, felt, like, you know, the stuff that, like, puppets are made out of, or, a lot of, like, rags and stuff. And I just think it's cool to learn stuff like that. And, like, the thing is that, like, I think that kind of knowledge could help people, like, think in new ways, and maybe, like, come up with new inventions and cool creations and stuff, you know? And, so I'm like, instead of maybe teaching me American history 5 times, maybe we could have taken one of those times and, like, taught us all the basics of how, like, everything works. Just as an example. Or civics. Civics is another good one. Like, I never got taught how, like, how, like, the government works. And I think a lot of people really need that information. Like, how society works. Yeah, exactly. That would be a class about paying taxes. That would be civics. Uh, yeah, okay, so technically we are, but we're only taught certain stuff about it. We don't get taught, like, anything about how, like, local government works, or how, like, we don't get taught anything about, like, what our taxes are used for. It usually gets left to, like, military and services. And then we don't go into it further than that. Or at least we didn't for me. So, like, and, like, some of the stuff was, like, more like electives. So, like, it was classes you didn't have to actually take. But I feel like, I don't know, to me it feels like a thing that should just be a basic thing in school that is taught to everybody. Probably instead of getting taught the same stuff about American history 6 times. Literally, in high school, I was never conscious for my US history class. We don't have those. That's actually against the federal law. We have separation of church and state, so it is illegal to teach anything religious related other than in a purely historical context whatsoever in America. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, we learn about it in, like, a historical thing. America, did I pass? Good job, Healy. You did great. But yeah, like I said, just some stuff like that I think would be a cool thing for people to get taught. Because, like, like I said, I think a lot of that stuff is just super interesting. And I think the, like, especially the technology thing, like, a lot of people don't know how our current technology works at all, let alone, and I think there is, like, baby steps required with a lot of stuff, and I think it's really helpful. I'm gonna go ahead and say probably, but also I don't want to go too in depth on that conversation, if that's okay, Mac. But yeah, like I said, the stuff with the technology thing, I just think a lot of people don't understand how technology works, and I think with how complicated technology is getting, and I think it would be a good idea to actually make people learn, like, the human tech tree, basically. Yeah, like I said, I'd be more willing to talk about it off stream. There's just, like, you know what I mean? It's just generally, like, it can make people uncomfortable. But yeah, like I said, I think more people should learn about the human tech tree, because that's how you avoid Mad Max, basically. Underrated trades. Also, yeah, like, I also think it would probably make people feel different about, like, the trades. Because I think a lot of more people would think that stuff is cool if they knew how it worked, at least in a basic level. You know what I mean? But, like, yeah, also, like, everyone's been so obsessed with stuff like, another good example! Actually, a really cool example is that, like, have you guys heard of the Green Wall in, Africa? Essentially, there is, like, a type of planting that, they were doing to keep back the, Sahara Desert in Africa with trees and stuff, and people used to just plant, like, forests and stuff around, like, their towns to keep the heat at bay and stuff, and to also push back the desert and keep the desert from spreading. And basically nobody remembered how to do it. Like, that knowledge got lost because people weren't getting taught it, and the people who knew it became old, and everybody of a certain age who should have been taught stuff like that left, like went to go somewhere else. So the Sahara Desert was actually like spreading south, and there's like this whole thing where they were like making these like half moon structures and planting trees and crops in the shade of those trees and like a whole thing. And it was like and they're doing and essentially as a big project to help keep Africa from getting worse is a bunch of people have gone in and invested in rebuilding the Green Wall and pushing the desert back and teaching all the people there, like, because a lot of the people there are like younger, how to do this and keep this up and work on the process. And the fact that they've started on this process and there's all this investment now in rebuilding the Green Wall, which is, for the record, is just like a wall of forest and plants and stuff, right? That helps prevent desertification. That a lot of people are moving back and learning it too. A lot of like older people who moved away are now actually interested in moving back and working on the Green Wall and services for the people who are working on the Green Wall. So it is actually like a super huge net benefit. And they're giving people like special seeds to work on it and this whole thing and starting the process. And like the local communities are going out of their way to like work on like strengthening and rebuilding it. Because a lot of it got cut down and stuff for resources and wasn't maintained and got, you know what I mean? It kind of got torn down over the years. And it was a thing people just had figured out forever ago, and then that knowledge was lost. And that's part of why I think stuff like some basic tech things should probably, like a lot of early tech and techniques and stuff like that, should just be taught to everybody. So even if you don't go into it, knowing how stuff works is super important. And I think that that idea that you need to specialize to know about things, I think that is just incorrect. I think you should know a little bit about how everything works. And like there can be depths to it. Like obviously like to throw back to like the fabric thing, like knowing how to make basic fabrics is, I think, a super important thing for people to just know for like an apocalypse scenario, or just knowing like the basics of how something is made. I think it is good because it can also like inspire more tech stuff like that. But you don't necessarily need to know like super specifics of how stuff like that works. Like, you know, you don't need to know like a super complicated modern techniquing machinery version of it, but I think knowing like the, you know what I mean? And that's where like advanced education and interest would prevail. If that makes sense. I'm saying I think more people should be taught like the basics of it. Like ceramics are clay or mud fired by fire, you know, shaped and fired, and it needs to be of a certain type of thickness and viscosity, and then you make ceramics, which is like, aha, like the bowl I have in my cabinet. That is something I think everyone should know. But then like advanced ceramic techniques, like you know, whatever, pinch potting, spinning, or whatever necessarily isn't necessarily or shouldn't necessarily be required. I'm just throwing random stuff at my point. It's definitely a lot easier today to learn a lot of at least the most basics of things with the internet. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I agree. I agree that it's easy to learn stuff. I think a lot of people are too afraid to learn stuff, though. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. But yeah, that's a weird thing I do, is I go out of my way to learn things to be more ready for an apocalypse that I don't think will ever happen. Or a sudden time travel. You know, I've read enough comic books, I've watched enough movies. Time travel can happen at any time. Are you ready? Are you ready for time travel? But yeah, Only you can prevent sudden time travel. Just like, I don't know why, but I always, whenever I think of time travel, I always assume you're not going back like 50 years. You're going back like to the dawn of man for some reason. Just like, you're just like, oh no, here I am in Unga Bunga times, and I don't know how to do anything. Better safe than sorry. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know why. I don't know why I always want to learn stuff like that. Like, I've never practically used any of that information. I'm just like, that information needs to be in my brain. Entirely because of, like I said, the either zombie, like, either apocalypse or sudden time travel. Fun fact, in the Marvel Comics universe, Wolverine goes back in time and invents beer. Because him and Spider-Man got sent back during an Avengers event to Unga Bunga times. And Wolverine missed beer, so he taught the locals, so he taught, like, a tribe of cave people to make beer. And that's how, and so he invented beer, so that he could have beer while they were stuck in the past. And, like, apparently they spread that forward, and, like, that is the actual in-universe thing, is that apparently beer is, like, a circular invention. What is that called in time travel? Where you grew up knowing a thing, so you go back in time and invent it? Like a spontaneous creation thing? I can't remember. It's in Legend of Zelda also. If you play Ocarina of Time, you get taught the Song of Storms by the man in the windmill. Yeah, it's a type of paradox, but it's like a circular, spontaneous thing. So, like, you get taught a song by a man in a windmill. You get taught the Song of Storms by a man in the windmill. As an adult. Okay? And he is mad at you because you ruined his life in the past by playing that song for him and flooding his town or whatever. Flooding something. So, but then you go back in time and you teach him that song that he taught you in the future, that you learned in the future. So where did that song come from? Did that song exist outside of you learning it from that man? Or, like, just your instance of this is so, like, weirdly circular? Or is it's the bootstraps paradox? Yeah. Duplicated, hello! Or, yeah, it's, like, exactly, it's just, it's so weird and interesting, and I love it. Yo, Padoru! Oh no, we're coming up on Padoru season. Oh, okay, sometime after Halloween, that means I have to put the Padoru back into the free emote slots. We have an official Selvion Padoru. So I bet I can use it. Yeah, we have a Padoru. But, whenever it is not Christmas season, I put it in the exclusive, like, tier 3 emotes. Because because I respect October and November, because Christmas is December. I do allow Christmas in January, though, mostly because I'm too lazy to take the decorations down. As all proper people are. I put all that effort in to put up the decorations. They shouldn't set up for just 3 or 4 weeks. That's not long enough for how much effort it is to put those decorations up. I honestly do not actually decorate for Christmas, really. I haven't done that in a while. Do you know what? Okay, so Selvion's entire Christmas decoration routine as of having their own home. Ready? I have a 8-bit stocking. It is literally in 8 bits, and I pin it to a wall. And then I have Funko Pops of Heat Miser and Snow Miser, and I put them out somewhere, and I am done. Merry Christmas. That is all I do for Christmas. Heat and Snow The Year Without a Santa Claus is probably my favorite Christmas movie, or at least it always had been my favorite Christmas movie. There might be more that I love more, but I actually really love the old stop motion Rankin Bass Christmas movies, and the Heat and Snow Miser one was always my favorite. Pretty adorable, but yeah, that's the most I do for Christmas. I wish I did more for Halloween, because I actually like Halloween season a lot more. I think, okay, so now hear me out. A lot of people online think Christmas is more introverted and Halloween is extroverted. And so it's like but I think it's the opposite. I think Christmas is an introvert holiday, or is an extrovert holiday, and Halloween is an introvert holiday. Because Halloween, people don't do much for Halloween. A lot of the time for Halloween, most people spend it at home, and at most they'll watch a scary movie and buy some candy and give some candy out to the kids who come by. Fun, right? But for Christmas, it's in your face. Everyone is all about everything, and it's about interacting with lots of people who you interact with on various levels. Sometimes you're expected to give presents to people you don't talk to very often. People don't go trick-or-treating anymore. It's very introverted. Yeah. That reminds me, I actually have to buy candy because I actually have a lot of neighbors that are kids in my building. And, sure, it's September, but I actually have to remember to buy candy on the off chance that all the children who live in my apartment building actually trick-or-treat my apartment building. That did just now is what occurred. It just now occurred to me that I actually have to buy candy this year. So, yeah, anyway, but even when it comes down to Halloween versus Christmas parties, I think Halloween parties are introverted because you can, at a glance, see people who you would share interests with. Are they dressed up as something that you like? You can probably talk to them. It's the holiday of, hey, do you like stuff? Show that off. Even if it's something generic, like werewolves, you just get a free thing to talk to people about without having to be worried. You can ask them about the costume. You can just vibe. You can look at people who are dressed as things that you like and go talk to them about that thing. If you're an introvert, it's the easy mode for all interactions. It's the party you can handle is a Halloween party. It's the easy mode of parties. Unlike Christmas, where now the Christmas holiday parties, the Christmas time holiday parties, you have to know people, and you have to think of things to talk about. You can't just whatever that interaction. Enjoy the vibes. That doesn't mesh with Christmas. Ever go into a store where both holiday season of Halloween and Christmas are being sold and displayed at the same time? Yes, I hate that. Serby! Look at readers! Serby, how is your stream? should probably get, like, Cell original raid sounds soon. But welcome in, sir. Welcome in, everybody. I am Cell, Android Girl Variety VTuber. We are just kind of vibing and talking today. But yeah, how was your stream? VR chat, I assume? I haven't popped in a while. I'm sorry. I should pop by some more. Honestly, I have not gone on VR chat in a while. I don't actually remember the last time I went on VR chat. I feel like it was a month or two ago. Pokemon Sword! Yo! That's awesome! Hello! I need to play Pokemon more, actually, now that I think about it. I haven't played a Pokemon game since Pokemon... Well, actually, okay, hold on. No, I played some spin-off Pokemon games. I played the new Pokemon Snap. I think that was the most recent Pokemon game I played. But, like the mainline Pokemon game. I think the most recent one I played was Pokemon X? Maybe? I don't know. I had a hard time getting into Pokemon X once they added 3D to the games, for some reason. I really wanted to play, I actually really wanted to play, Sword and Shield and Sun and Moon. I believe Sun and Moon is the new one. No, wait, no, not Sun and Moon. What's the new one? Scarlet and Violet. I did want to try Scarlet and Violet. Hey, Sil! Welcome in. I like a lot of the new Pokemon designs. It's more of the gameplay. I remember the gameplay being way harder when I was a kid. Or, if not harder, less, like... I don't know. Sometimes it feels like it's, like... It really feels like they've, like, lowered the difficulty. And I'm like, I was able to beat Pokemon Red when I was, like, 4. I'm pretty sure kids can handle harder games, even if they get frustrated. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like making games more accessible in the way of making things super easy is not really the way to go. Yeah. You see, the thing that I love about Pokemon is that I always loved about Pokemon is that, you know what is just as viable of a strategy for, like, the main game? You can get through even the hardest Pokemon game with entirely offensive attacks. Like, you don't actually need to use stuff like Leer or Growl or Tail Whip or whatever to lower their stats or mess with stuff like that almost at all. You really can just focus on, like, type advantage and, like, that kind of stuff, which was super easy for my little kid brain to, like process. And you could do the game that way. Or, like, status effects. Like, my little kid brain was fine with those. I never use low... You know what? Me either. I just know that they're, like, very meta. A lot of people use like, a ton of those in, like, professional Pokemon. But yeah, like, you don't need to use... You don't even need to touch those attacks. They can be just wasted attack slots that you get rid of. You know? And you can beat the game just as fine. And that's something I actually, like, liked about Pokemon. Is there's depth for, like, multiplayer that you don't have to actually pay attention to for single player. So, that move's super effective. My kid brain loved figuring that out. Yeah, exactly. I loved all the mental brain games I did of trying to figure out all, like, the type disadvantages and weaknesses. Because some of them didn't make sense. Like, why is electric weak to fighting? And I'm like, because Because a person has to set up electricity. Like an electrician. So you just go and set it up. And that person is like, maybe they're like a, electric fighter. I don't know what I was thinking with that. But like, I just remember little kid me trying to think things through like that. And like guessing with attack types. Just being like, okay, so they're in ice. So, you know, what beats ice? Fire? I don't have fire. What else beats ice? You know, psychic. People are afraid of bugs. String shot. Super effective. They should make gold and silver and make it like violet and scarlet. I played that to death. I've heard a lot of the rumblings that might be a thing soon-ish. Well, technically, I've heard that it might be get the Pokemon Legends treatment. Apparently, a silver, gold, and like a Johto Kanto. I have now officially sneezed more times today than I have, like, the last 2 months. Anyway, but yeah, they should remake Gold and Silver was really good. You know what I would love? Make a Pokemon game that is all of Japan. So, like, if you pull up a map of Japan, like, Kanto is where Tokyo is, right? Is the Tokyo region. And then if you go to the left of that, I'm not sick. I think it's more of like, maybe it's because I just cleaned my house, actually. But anyways, so Kanto is the Tokyo region. Right next to it, which is Mount Fuji through the Kyoto region, is Johto. And then there is another area just past that is, I can't remember. There's a then at the very end, over by like Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the Okinawa Islands, you have Hoenn. And then you skip the Sendai region up to Hokkaido, and the tip of Sendai. Plus, I think the one island that Russia has that used to be Japan. That is Sinnoh. And the Battle Frontier or whatever, I'll kick you out of the room. But yeah, literally, you only have 2 regions left to make, and you could make a Pokemon game that's the entirety of Japan. And I think that would be really cool. I want them to make... You know what is something I actually would, like, kill for? Because I think this would be such a cool idea for a Pokemon game. They should do California. And I know that seems like boring, right? Off of the... Because they've done Hawaii. They've done Hawaii and they've done New York for America. But I think you could do California. But you know what? You know what is another area that's adapted in... that Pokemon has adapted in America? They've adapted Arizona. All of Pokemon Coliseum takes place in Arizona. I would add the area from Pokemon Coliseum as the bonus area for a California Pokemon game. Because most of it is desert, and you can't really go there. You actually have... Apparently, the desert is so bad in Ore, the version of Arizona, that everybody drives or takes motorcycles and vehicles between all the towns. So it would not be that hard to add it if it's just like as like a thing where you only stop to deal with Pokemon. And then you have the towns. And I think that would be such a cool little bonus battle challenge area thing for a California Pokemon game. I felt clever doing that. You could also potentially have like stuff where you go to Hawaii to Alola but I feel like that would be less interesting than adding in the Pokemon Coliseum area as a bonus area to a Pokemon game. Because I think the Pokemon Coliseum games are super fun, and I think it'd be really cool to have them at least referenced in a main Pokemon game. I don't know. I thought it was a cool idea. Sai!
Cool!
Thank you for the gift sub to sell! I really appreciate it. I will say, if I wanted to put a Pokemon game anywhere, though, I actually really like some suggestions that I've heard of for places, which are, I really like the idea of Australia, or India, or Brazil. I've heard all of those places as suggestions a lot. And they all do make a lot of sense for Pokemon, like the Pokemon Company, because, you know, Australia kind of follows the same line of thought as, like, all the European ones in America. It's just a place where Pokemon is popular. India, you would have super unique new environments, because India has a lot of really cool nature. And Brazil, you would have the rainforest. And can you imagine, like, rainforest Pokemon? That just sounds cool. Of course, they just put Pokemon wherever and don't really care about what region they would be in. But I think the idea of going to, like, a rainforest sounds kind of cool in Pokemon. But, anyway. I guess by that same sort of logic, they could always just do, like, the Philippines or something. Probably be a lot easier of a sell for like Japan, probably. I don't know. I just like I said, I just think the idea of like a rainforest area in a Pokemon game would be cool. I want them to bring back Mega Evolutions too. I want them to stop giving them a new evolution type every single thing, because it feels pointless. It's dumb. Mega Evolutions was your solution, Game Freak. If you have a Pokemon that is fully evolved, that is popular but not useful for, like, online or whatever, because of types or whatever, just give them a Mega Evolve. It's done. Heard they might bring it back for the next game. I hope they do. I really hope they do. That was like one of my most liked things from X and Y. And then they put it in Omega Ruby and Sapphire too. And then my boy Swampert got a Mega Form where he's jacked. He's just so buff. Just like, hey, I heard you liked Mudkip. He's just big. I love it. I just think it's so funny. And then, like, the hunter game in the forest. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Sai. But, yeah. I don't know. There's a... You know what is actually an art project I thought about doing a bunch of times that I think would be fun? Even though I probably will never get around to doing it. I've actually sat and thought about doing a, actually, like, designing a Pokemon region over where I live. Like, my general area. Because, you know what, I will say, growing up here and being a Pokemon fan, I have 100% sat and thought about, like, what my region's Pokemon would be, and, like, what currently existing Pokemon would live here. And, like, I've sat and thought about that a bunch over the years. So, like, I think that would be a fun art project or something to do, and just design all the Pokemon. Like, all the new Pokemon and, like, regional variants and stuff, and, like, add a map and tell you, like, the gym leader of each area or something like that. But then I also think that would dox me. I should probably not do that. You know what I mean? I feel like that might not be the best idea. But it's a thing that I have thought about enough that I'm like, that'd be so fun. Maybe like gotta be careful. Exactly. You can't you like that's probably like I think I've said like I'm pretty sure I've said the state and city I live in before. And I probably shouldn't do that even. Yeah. I make it at least hard if you're gonna like try to like stalk me. You know, putting too many clues in a project like that would probably get people to figure that out too quickly. Make it too easy on people. But yeah, there's actually Pokemon that I've actually designed Pokemon as an idea before because I found out that way back when for I can't remember what gen it was. I found out that apparently they do contests that you can enter as where they try to where they let fans design Pokemon and then they do like a professional version of it. And I actually designed a Pokemon to try to enter that forever ago. I think I was in high school or middle school or something. I think it was black and white. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. And I actually designed a fossil Pokemon called I designed 2 fossil Pokemon for it, and it was Slushub and Smysicle, and it was a saber-toothed tiger. My tracking just ended. Oh, there we go. But yeah, it was an ice type saber-toothed tiger. Ice and rock. I thought it was cool. And I just still like those designs a lot. But I might be able to find like the doodles I did of them forever ago. But I'm pretty sure I don't know. I don't think I even entered. I think I just found out they did a contest and then spent like a couple days for designing that and then never did anything with it. So, you know what is something that I have been thinking about trying to do though? I actually I have been thinking a lot lately about like, man, I wish I would have actually spent the time to learn how like RPG Maker works. Because I feel like if I would have actually like sat down and like learned that instead of trying to during like my game developer days, if I had actually sat down and just tried to learn to do it myself instead of relying so much on other people for like certain skills like that and try to like make a bigger game, I think my game could have actually I could have actually got my game made. So I've actually been thinking about that a bunch, and I'm like, maybe I should just sit down and learn like RPG Maker or I already sat and learned Ren'Py at one point. I was gonna actually make myself a visual novel, but I never got that far with it. But I did start on a visual novel at one point, and part of me thinks that that would be a fun thing to like sit down and actually work on again. This is more of one of those when I'm at the day job and I'm bored thing that I'll just sit and think about. Like, maybe I should go back and work on making game. But I don't know. I think at this point I'm probably better off waiting until I have free time again. But something to keep in mind. Because I did really like actually like creating stuff. I think I'd rather focus on streaming as my creative outlet though. Although I have thought about trying to make like a like spend a day with Selvion visual novel or something. I thought that might be a fun idea. Like, I play, apparently, you know Artsy VRC? I don't actually know them. I know people who know them. But apparently they made a visual novel that is literally just a date with Artsy. And I always thought that was, like, really, like, cool. And it's just a thing you can go download that they made. Apparently making stuff like that isn't that hard. Renpy is super easy. It's basically a choose your own adventure. Like, have you guys ever played the, those choose your own adventure text games? A lot of people make them. There's a bunch of fan fiction websites where that's like an option for a way to like do your stories. And I used to do those all the time. I actually was more into those than fan fiction when I was like of that age. And I would just do choose your own adventures all the time. And like I said, that is basically game design for a visual novel. The only other thing to do for that is you add audio and pictures and like some UI. And like you use an engine like Renpy and it does that for you. Or it gives you like options and where to put stuff and places to put it. Sil, Sai gave you a sub. Yo, you're at 9 months. You're a 3-star dataling. Good job. I haven't actually looked at that stuff in a while. Like, my brain just kind of like glosses over the dataling number a lot of the time. Ew, how dare. Why? Actually, speaking of, you wanna know one of the ideas I had for my dumb like I should make a game idea is I actually had the I did actually have an idea for a Silver Wings game. I had an idea for a Silver Wings horror game that I thought would be funny. And I thought it would be funny to have like, because you know in horror games they never have like their cell phones. And I just thought it would be really funny to have, and I did it with Sil because Sil is one of the only characters I know who, like, VTuber OCs, who is basically just a regular human without powers or anything. So I just thought it'd be really funny to just like have her be in a horror game and then still have her cell phone. And if you get frustrated with the puzzle, just like you could just call up like me or Pokey or somebody, and we would just like meme over you for a minute and like do like something to mess with it. Like I had a whole idea in my head for just like a puzzle, and if you get stuck on the puzzle, you could just like whip out your phone and be like, Sal, save me. And then I would go punch a wall down. And then me and Sil would get in a fight, and then I would just like leave, and then I would, without solving the puzzle, and I would just weld the wall back together. And you could go up and look at the wall and just be like, damn it, Sal. And I thought that'd be really funny. But then you're just back to still in a horror game. Like a little like RPG Maker horror game. And it was something I was having a dumb little thought about. And I thought about a bunch of stuff for that. And I thought, doesn't that sound fun? And like I said, that feels like a lot of effort. But I have like a vision in my head of it, and I thought it'd be really funny. You have Pokey as the American guy with guns. Pokey is an elf dragon, though. Actually, I didn't have a thing for Pokey. I had a thing for a couple other people that Sil hangs out with, though. I just use Pokey as like the easy example because I hang out with Pokey a lot. But yeah, like I said, I had a funny idea for it, and it's probably too much effort, and I probably won't ever actually do it. I don't know. Actually, maybe never isn't the right idea, but odds are it probably won't happen. But still, though, Like, I struggle to think of, like, with my actual, like, canonical power set, I actually kind of struggle to think of a good Selvion game that is within my, like, actual means to make, if I was to able to do that. Because apparently, like, the easiest games to make with, like, the easiest two, like, game engines to make as a person who doesn't know programming are to make something with RPG Maker or with, like, a visual novel. And RPG Maker, the easiest type of game to make, other than an actual traditional JRPG, is a horror game. Like a adventure horror puzzle game. Wonderful 101. I hate that my brain immediately is just like, yeah, that just kind of like our vibe, isn't it? Oh my god. Wait. Did I accidentally rip off the Wonderful 101? My lore? Wait. It's not on purpose if it was. So we're gonna move on from that. I've never even played through that game. I just watched somebody else play it. To be fair. Oh. Also, random thing. I was going through my stuff from Twitchcon last year, and I found some cool stuff that I forgot that I bought. It is very similar. I don't like that. But yeah, I found some cool stuff. Like, I found a Mudkip pop socket that I bought from the Artist Alley that's super cute. And a part of me wants to attach it to my phone, but another part of me is like, that'll get destroyed in your pocket, so you can't do that. I don't understand how people, like, attach super complicated things to their phones like that. Like, I look at a pop socket as something that'll get caught on my pocket and ruined within, like, a day. Like, a couple days. Hey, Federation! Hello! I also found a bag of gummy bears that somebody gave to me at TwitchCon last year. I'm gonna guess that I probably shouldn't eat those. MagSafe rings are better than pop sockets? Probably. But, all I know is, what I was saying is that I bought a little Mudkip from Pokemon pop socket at TwitchCon last year, and I found it again. I was just like, it's so cute. But if I put it on my phone, I'm pretty sure it would not survive. That's, I also got, the same person who gave me the gummy bears also gave me, because people just give out stuff to try to get you to go look at their channel. And, so a lot of that stuff was just kind of fun. When you meet people, they'd hand you business cards or stuff like that. But yeah, but yeah, they gave me gummy bears and a thing of Pokemon cards, and I opened the booster pack of Pokemon cards, and I got a holographic Chandelure. Weird how Pokemon keeps coming up today now. MagSafe. I don't even know what a MagSafe ring is for a phone, if I'm being honest. Honestly, I have a really boring phone case. Like, I know a lot of people use phone cases as, like, a big, like, self-expression thing. But, like, mine is, like, transparent. They don't exist in America. Fair enough. Like I said, I don't even know what that is off the top of my head. I'd have to, like, go look it up. Isn't a pop socket just so that you can hold your phone from, like, the center of the phone without having to, like, wrap your hand around a bigger pocket? It's a ring of magnets you stick on, and you can put pop sockets on, wallets, and chargers. Oh, wait, I think I have seen that. But yeah, no, I've never bought that. I don't, like I said, I have a basic case on my phone. Just like a heavy-duty transparent rubber case, or whatever it's made out of. Silicone, rubber, something. Classic. I don't know what you're saying, Gritty Goose. Yo, I unlocked the Gritty Goose last night. Or the other night. Not last night, the night before. So I finally got the Gritty Goose. I've never been so happy to get an emote. I love the Gritty Goose. But yeah, I got a bunch of stuff. Oh, you know what the saddest part about TwitchCon being so soon is that I was broke like the entire time leading up to TwitchCon, so I never got the chance to get a new cardboard cutout made. And my cardboard cutout is a little from last year, is probably a little bit too beat up to use again. So sadly, probably no Cell walking around with a giant cardboard cutout of themselves again. It was so nice last year for... I'm still broke. Oh, I feel you, Cell. It was so nice last year to use as like a shield for people taking pictures and like to photobomb people, and so many people came up to me and took pictures with me. It wasn't nice. It was awesome for me. Everyone loved it. I got to meet a bunch of big people and stuff from it. Okay, yes, when it was windy, it would like try to lift me up off the ground and it would like really catch the air. Print out a life-size pic and fold it into a leaflet. I mean, I don't even own a printer. I should probably get a printer. When are you gonna fall? I'm not gonna fall! Every year at TwitchCon, I do a really big trip and, like, skin my knee every single year. And now, apparently, like, still has started a betting pool at how many days I can go without falling. Tripping over something and getting hurt. Don't fall, Cell. I have $10. Say you don't fall. Sure. Unamused, Cell. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe... Honestly, now that I think about it, maybe I could reinforce my current cardboard cutout. Take it again. I don't know. I have to, like, think about that. I think that would be possible. I would be worried about that, though. You, like, tumble. I mean, okay, I will... I don't know. Probably go to print store. I don't think print stores do, like, a cardboard cutout, though. And then, like, the other thing is that I, like, my, current cardboard cutout is of my, old model. It's in, like, the schoolgirl uniform. You can print it on paper and stick it to the current one. True. But then I would be, like, ruining my old one. And I kind of like having it as, like, a memento. It sits in my living room behind my couch. And it's just, oh, hey, there's Sal. Hi, Sal. You know, and I don't know. I just think it's fun. I think it's just a fun thing to have in my house. So, like, I'd be almost kind of worried about messing it up. Boom blocks. Like, the part that's, like, kind of messed up is where I was carrying it, which was, like, the support part. Because it has a part where it's, like, cardboard. I mean, it's all cardboard, but it has, like, a fold-out-y part, and it's got a hole that's, like, the perfect size for my hand. And then I was just holding it by that as a, like a shield, kind of. So, like, in my head, And that part's all, like, flimsy now, where I was holding on to it all of TwitchCon last year. So if I got something firm and, like, taped it there to, like, make that, like, sturdy again, like a ruler or something kind of like that, it should be fine. Probably. I don't know. Boom blocks Gravity Rush except zero gravity. You need to play Gravity Rush, Sil. I think you'd like it. I need to play Gravity Rush too. We should, you know what, we should put a poll on games. I want to know what, like, other, like, indie game, oh, like, not indie games. Like, after TwitchCon, we kind of are wanting to do, like, the Minecraft server again. But, like, I want to know what, like, small game you guys want me to do again. Like, obviously, we're doing Alan Wake right now. Mostly because I had Alan Wake installed, and I knew it wasn't that long ago. Polls every day. Your server hates you for it. I'm sorry, Cell. That reminds me, I still have Alan Wake downloaded. I should probably delete that off my computer now. Probably install the other Alan Wake. I'll just do that real quick since I thought of it. But anyway, I have viewers who yell at you for the polls? Really? That's kind of crazy to me. Like, why would you be upset about having a say in the content? Sounds like people who probably don't want, like, I feel like the only people who'd be upset are the people who don't actually watch. You guys ever played Far Cry? Is it worth it? I didn't really like Far Cry that much, but I know Sil loves Far Cry. I played the one with Kim. Like Suho Kim or whatever his name is. Yeah, I played a little bit of that game. At a certain point, I was like, about it. Pagan Min. Oh, thank you. Suho Kim, I think, is a real person. I think, you know, we're gonna move on. That was weird. 4 and 6. Yeah, which one is Pagan Min in? Which one is that one? Is that Far Cry 5? 4. Okay, yeah, I couldn't really get into it. It's too real-worldy. I don't know. Just something about it felt kind of boring to me. I couldn't get into it. Although I will say I did really, really like Far Cry Primal. I did play quite a bit of that one, actually. So, like, Far Cry 4, boring. Far Cry Primal, super interesting. Love that one. Why is there lag? Why does my model have lag? Okay. I need to, like, push the calibrate button. Primal was the worst rated one? That's so interesting to me, because Primal was the only one with a remotely interesting setting to me. All the other ones were just like, generic guns, shoot dudes. I don't know. Boring stuff. But, you know what I mean? That is Cell. Cell always has like Cell doesn't like a lot of that kind of stuff. Cell doesn't like the Call of Duty game. Doesn't like the Call of Duty games or Battlefield or any of those like real world vibes stuff. They took the past sections and just reused the map. Booty. Asking around for someone to play Far Cry 6 with me. Okay. But yeah, yeah, not really a Far Cry fan. But boy. But yeah, Gravity Rush. That Gravity Rush 2 is probably, I don't know, we might play that at some point. Sure. I do like Gravity Rush. Federation, thank you for the care package. I will do that. 3 and up are completely different than the ones before. Oh, I believe it. Okay, I finished my weird drink that I bought, finally. Anyway. One deals with zombies and superhuman... Wait. Is that actually the plot of Far Cry 1? Wait. I'm looking this up. Wait. Far Cry 1. Horrific genetic experiments. That sounds so much more interesting than any of the other Far Cry games. Wait. Wait. Yeah, that sounds cool. Dumb. Wait, hold on. I'll just go through all the games now. What's this one? Africa, Civil War, All right, this one's okay. Far Cry 2 seems like a fairly realistic setting. Didn't we also go to the Spirit World or something in 4? Okay, so Far Cry 2 also seems kind of boring. Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4, 5. I'll just open a Wikipedia page for all these. I know Far Cry 3, people mostly like it for the main bad guy. Like the Voss guy. But... Okay, this one's just pirates. Tropical Island. I will say, Far Cry 3 is the most interesting one to me, just because of how much people sat and talked about the main bad guy. Far Cry 4 was super boring and I couldn't get into it. Far Cry Primal was super cool. Far Cry 5 is set in America. I could just go live that game. I don't care. Then Far Cry 6 is the Cuban Revolution. Yeah, that also doesn't seem interesting. I don't care enough about Breaking Bad for the Breaking Bad guy to be interesting to me. All right. I've actually never watched Breaking Bad. Oh no, I broke my fidget spinner. Damn it. I knocked my fidget spinner off the desk, and now it doesn't spin anymore. Oh, wait. Oh, nope, fix it. Alright. Anyway, the biggest thing I don't like about the Far Cry games is that they're another open world game, and I kind of am tired of open world games. I feel like open world is just a lot of the time is just an excuse to make you spend a lot of time, like, going places in a game. Like, I find open world games to be super boring nowadays. They're just full of, like, they don't put stuff in between. You know what I mean? Like, that's some of the shit that I don't. Yeah, no, I stopped like an hour into Far Cry 4. You know, I did get the secret ending where you just wait at the very beginning. Just to mess with my younger brother. Because he was like, this game took me like 30 hours to beat, or like 3 weeks to beat. And I'm like, I beat the game. Some characters and secrets to find in open worlds nowadays, just collectibles and items. But yeah, yeah, but like, I don't know. Like, most open world games, they feel like determined to waste your time. It kind of feels like nowadays. Like, open world was fun when not a lot of games were doing it. When it was like Skyrim or Morrowind or Oblivion, and you would actually get lost in that world for a while, and it was really well designed, and you know, there was just stuff around to, you know what I mean? That was kind of fun to me. And then everyone started doing it. And then it became every single game is like 80 hours to beat. And most of that time will be spent doing nothing. It'll be just walking somewhere. And I'm just like, God, no. Just let me be there already. I'm tired of walking and having nothing happen. Or if something does happen, it'll be me fighting the same generic enemies for the billionth time. I say this as somebody who just beat several open world, who the last like 3 major games they played were open world, so thus clearly still likes open world games even if they're complaining about them. But like, I don't know, something about open worlds need to have a certain something for me to be interested in them nowadays, I think. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's like, I have a hard time even being like excited about like Elder Scrolls now. Just because I'm like, ooh, another game where I will get hopelessly hopelessly addicted to like picking every item up and then having the most excruciating walk back ever because I won't feel like I could ever possibly not have every item that I picked up. And that's just how I play games like that. And then, like, all of my travel to places is, like, if there's nothing happens, just generic enemies, and I'm like, eh. Like I said, they just, like, yeah, like Max said, they don't put anything interesting in most open worlds. It's just stuff. But Yeah, like, I don't know. Like I said, it almost feels lazy to me at a certain point. Just because it's like... Assassin's Creed is really bad about that, too. Honestly, I feel like Assassin's Creed... Like, I loved 1, and then all of the ones with Ezio. Those were all good. But then, like, Assassin's Creed 3 was bad. I didn't play 4 or Black Flag. And then afterwards, they just, like, made it all confusing. I don't know what storyline we're following anymore. You know? I don't think there is a storyline anymore. Now it's just like, assassins in this time period. You know? I don't even know what's happening in Assassin's Creed. And then they're like, magic's real. All of mythology really happened. And I'm like, why? That's new. Why are we adding magic to Assassin's Creed? Wait. That's like completely disrupts your like realistic sci-fi scenario that you were kind of going for. Yeah, the Ezio period was peak Assassin's Creed. Black Flag was an amazing pirate game before being a good Assassin's Creed game. Yeah, I agree with that. I do know that Black Flag was good. I always wanted to go back and play that, but I never got around to it. And part of me kind of wants to try some of the newer ones. Like, I have gotten stuff for those, like, from being in, like, the Ubisoft Club. But, Revelations is pretty good. But, yeah, like, across the board, Assassin's Creed was interesting, and it really hasn't been in a while. It just got confusing. Honestly, you know what I think would be a good... like, if they wanted to keep Assassin's Creed going, do you know what I actually think would be kind of a fun take on it? Give me an arcade Assassin's Creed game. And by arcade, I mean, I want it, like, mission-based. Give me, like, one really fleshed out area per, like, assassination, and have me go through and, like, make it like Hitman, I guess. I feel like that would be refreshing, just with their gameplay. Like, Hitman's type structure. Let me try to figure out and do the fun part of Assassin's Creed's missions, which was pacing a place, figuring out what I was supposed to do, you know, when people would be free, and then kill a dude. I think that would be fun. Make it medieval, like, as Hitman. Then then I'm game again. Give me back the Assassin's Creed PvP. That was so much silly fun. Never ever took that game seriously. I never played multiplayer Assassin's Creed. Honestly, there was a long period of time where I never touched multiplayer. I think, like, I don't know. I just never bothered. I think it's funny that everyone always acts like Ubisoft is like a big company. But really, I can only think of, like, 2 franchises that are, like, them, that are, like, big. And that's Assassin's Creed and Rayman. And even Rayman is, like, they've kind of abandoned Rayman. They went with the Rayman Rabbids thing, and nobody liked the Rabbids. I think nobody liked the Rabbids. Everyone I knew hated the Rabbids. But, like, the Rabbids kept selling stuff, so maybe, like, little kids loved the Rabbids. Oh, Rainbow Six Siege? I'll be honest, any of the, like, Rainbow Six games is, like, same with, like, anything Tom Clancy. I look at those games and my eyes just gloss over as just, like, those games just always end up looking to me like, you ever see those, like, if you ever go to, like, the book section of, like, a grocery store, and it's all, like, military thrillers and, like, romance novels? Anything with Rainbow Six or Tom Clancy on it immediately just reads to me as the video game equivalent of those like military thrillers. They're just like whatever. I mean, I don't know. I remember liking Splinter Cell. I only played a demo of the first game. And then I tried playing the real first game, and you could do less stuff than the demo. Just Dance. I don't know. Just Dance always felt like a poor man's version of Dance Dance Revolution. But then again, I also just never knew anybody who owned Just Dance, so that could be why I didn't get into it. I did think Mario and Rabbids seemed fun. I thought it was weird. I thought it was weird that you crossed over a spin-off of a major franchise like Rayman with a franchise like Mario and didn't have anything Rayman in it at all, really. I thought that was interesting and weird. Like, hold on. Ubisoft franchises. I'm looking that up now. And this isn't me being detrimental to them. It's just, like, none of their stuff ever, like, really jumped out at me. Okay, yeah, looking at their list of franchises, you have Assassin's Creed, you've got Prince of Persia, Rayman, the Tom Clancy franchise, Watch Dogs, Just Dance, Far Cry, For Honor, Brothers in Arms, Trials. Yeah, they just don't have anything for me, really. Rayman was in the second Mario and Rabbids game? That's good, at least. I've never even heard of Valiant Hearts. Anno, Heroes of Might and Magic. What's Heroes of Might and Magic? Call of Juarez? I actually have heard of Call of Juarez. Heroes of Might and Magic. Turn-based fan... Huh. That is interesting. Oh, that's the most okay, okay, yeah. I will say, something like, I don't know. It was a one-off game that was really good. Fair enough. What's Anno? I'm just, like, looking at all these... Oh, wait, Anno is that real-time strategy game. I've actually heard of that one. Warlords? Come on. Give me actual... Oh, alright then. Yeah, something about, like, Ubisoft. Most of their stuff feels so... just... Unreal asset, engine asset, like, generic stuff a lot of the time. Just nothing about them ever have... Yeah, just kind of generic. And, like, I can hear good things about stuff that they make. But, like, you know, I don't know. You look at it, and nothing ever grabs me from anything that they make, really. With the exception of Rayman and Prince of Persia. And Assassin's Creed used to do that, but then they overdid that franchise until it felt generic, too. Yeah, they just don't do stuff. Like, they do stuff, but they don't do stuff. They feel like they're on autopilot. And yeah, exactly. All of their... like, I played one of the newer Prince of Persia games, and, like, it felt just like Assassin's Creed. It just, I don't know. And like I said, I don't even dislike Ubisoft as a company. It's just, like, nothing they do just, like, gets me anymore. They're all open worlds. They all got towers. They all got outposts. Yeah, all their games are, like, checklists. Not the new... I didn't play the newest Prince of Persia. I played one of the newer Prince of Persias. Which is another franchise, by the way, that they just completely, like, abandoned. I don't know. I think they need to, like, make more... They need to just do something different. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I think back to a couple years ago when people raised money to give to Ubisoft to prevent them from being bought out by, like, this one Chinese company. And that was, like, a big movement for a little while. I don't know if anybody remembers that. It was a couple years ago. It was, like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years ago. And sometimes I kind of feel like you probably wouldn't have gotten much different if that had actually gone through. If the one big mobile phone company, Chinese mobile phone company, would have actually bought Ubisoft like it was trying to. Cause, like, you know what I mean? Because it kind of feels like they just phone in all their games. Was it Tencent? It might have been Tencent. I can't even remember at this point. And like I said, this isn't me, like, being mean. Like I said, I want them to do good, because they've made stuff that I've liked before. It's just, like, so much of their, like, catalog is stuff that I just find incredibly uninteresting. Goodbye, Ubisoft sponsorship. That I probably wasn't going to get anyway. And, like, the worst part is that, like, you know, I think that would be, like... I feel like that would be sad to work at a company like that. Like, I can't imagine, like, I can only imagine there has to be tons of people there in their office wanting to mix stuff up. And I have to assume, like, making new stuff. And I have to assume that there is, like, higher-ups or something being like, make it more like this, do that. How about we make it a Prince of Persia? Or how about we make it an Assassin's Creed game? Oh, okay. And now it's an Assassin's Creed game. You know what I mean? Something like that. Or, like, we don't want to invest in this. Make an Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean? Something like that. We don't want to spend... Like, I feel like that has to be... And I have the same sort of opinion with, like, a couple other bigger companies like that. Where it feels like, you know, there has to be creativity there. Like, because it's a creative field. It has to be, like, higher-ups telling them they can't do they can't do stuff. Also, I think it's so weird that Assassin's Creed took so long to get to the Japan game that everybody wanted. Like, everybody wanted a game set in Japan. That was, like, literally, that was the most requested thing since Assassin's Creed 3. Actually, I think it was super requested since, like, Assassin's Creed, like, 2. When they did, like, it's Renaissance Italy. And everyone's just like, whoa, they should make a Japan one. Like, for real. Like, Japan was one of the most wanted things for the entirety of Japan, for Assassin's Creed's existence. And it took them over 10 years to finally just make that game. And they're still making it weird with, like, multiple protagonists and stuff. And, like, dude, just make an Assassin's Creed game set there, then. Like... The one time all you had to do was just do the setting. I don't know. I haven't actually played an Assassin's Creed game since Revelations, so I'm probably not one to sit and, like, talk about that. But yeah, I don't know. You know what kind of, like, but then again, like, as a person, I find stuff, like, I'm a lot more interested in things that are a little bit more bright and colorful and fun and creative and, like, with unique art designs Although sometimes even art designs, like, I kind of hate certain art designs. And I think when people do, like, super realistic art, I feel like you're kind of, like, especially in games, it's just like, wow, generic human being. A lot of art design going on. But, you know, I mean, like, I am that kind of person sometimes where I'm like, you couldn't have done an art style or something. You know, I don't know. So, like, maybe I'm not the best judge of that stuff. Like, stuff like the kind of games that I always loved a lot as a kid are the kind of games that have been sort of, like, watered out of most mainstream gaming. Like I said, my favorite games as a kid were things like Sly Cooper. Uh, you know, your Sly Cooper, a lot of your Nintendo games, stuff like Sly Cooper and uh, uh, you know, yeah, platformers in general, anime fighting games, uh, you know, I don't know, stuff like that. That was always way more my vibe, and it feels like nowadays we are going like I kind of hate that mainstream gaming feels to have gone into the everybody needs to be set in the everybody needs to look as photorealistic as possible to the point where everyone looks the same even if you put them in radically different outfits. And I don't know. I'm not very to me AAA is anything with like the kind of honestly AAA to me feels more like anything with enough budget and scale. Like it's things with budget. It doesn't mean high-end graphics or anything. It needs to be big enough that it gets a physical release, is like a fully published, not sell like a fully like a full production with enough budget that it's actually like should be put like it needs the modern platform. AAA. There is no double A or single A games, really. In my opinion. Why am I small? What do you want me to be? You want me to be like this? I have a whole model cell. I want to show off more of the model. Like we have a set. Like why would I be all zoomed in? Hide most of my model? Seems dumb. So I pull myself back a little bit and ooh, hello. You want a magnifying glass? I don't know what, like I think this is a good perspective of the thing. I don't know what you want. You're always saying that, and I never know like do you actually want me to be like this? For like just chatting? You are now closer than before. Because, like, to me, this feels like I'm, like, 2 inches from the camera. Oh, wait. Am I big enough now, Cell? You can see detail in, like... You can see, like, the pencil detail in, like, some of the lines. That's actually kind of funny. I love that, actually. Hey. I'm here often. Right? I kind of love that, actually. Just in some of the lines, you can see, like, a little bit, like, it kind of looks like pencil-y. But, yeah. Also, you can... I've never actually noticed, but, like, even when my mouth is shut, you can kind of see into my mouth a little bit. That seems odd. I don't think that's supposed to happen. I think it's just how my face is. How it's, like, tracking my face. Anyway. Got that natural, like cat smile face. Well. Wait. Wait. Nya. I probably should have been using some of these more often. I kind of forget that they're here sometimes already. Oh wait, hold on. I like that. But yeah, anyway. I don't even know how far back was I before? I don't even know anymore. You've, like, messed up my feng shui here, Cell. But yeah. But yeah, no, like I said, I feel like it's weird how that has worked. Because, like, I feel like a AAA game is any game that would get, like, a commercial on TV. Which nowadays is nothing, because nobody watches TV. But, like, I don't see, like, game ads anywhere. So it's like, I don't hear about games before they come out anymore. Like, you'd think I would get them on YouTube or something at least, right? Like that, you know, I think that's like one of the biggest issues with ads is that, like, I somehow feel like when I went to the internet, I got worse ads than I did on TV. Like, it's not even so much that, like, it's not like I got less ads on the internet, and I still kind of get less ads on the internet. It's just I get worse ads. Like, do you know what every time I go on Twitch, what all of my ads have been for? Like, generic, like, oh, right a fly, or like, it's all been like French fry ads. Or like something weird like that. Like insurance, I guess. And it used to be you would get ads for like movies and games and yeah. I get this ad for Orida French fries all the time. Orida. And it's so odd. Cause like I don't like hate the ads. It's just I'll get like 4 of that ad as my ad every single time. And it's just like why does no gaming company pay for ads on like Twitch? Like why or YouTube? You know what I mean? You get ads for games on. Like I said, I have not seen an ad on a game, for a game, in years. All I get are like, you know, I've gotten ads for like heart medication and stuff like that. I get like the most boomery ads ever, and I hate it. The thing is that like I would barely get those kind of ads on TV. You know what I mean? Like, your time's coming, Sal. No. It's like it doesn't pay attention to the kind of stuff I watch. That's the thing, it feels like. I Google boring stuff. I am going to regret this, but let's look at the last couple things that I Googled. How about? Okay. I'm not going to show you, but we're going to... Last thing I Googled, Far Cry 1. Okay, obviously. Right? Okay, before that, I Googled, what is the they-them version of Mr. or Mrs.? Which is MX, which is mix. I don't like that one, personally, even though I am a they-them. I don't really like mix or mixer. I would rather you just pick one, honestly. Mr. or Mrs. Alright, before that, what was the last thing I Googled before that, though? Okay, that this one is boring, I will say. I looked up what is the cost of car insurance, so I'll give you that one. How much coffee do people in America drink per day? I googled how to beat a quest I was confused on in World of Warcraft. I googled the voice actor for Parappa the Rappa. You are proving my point. This is boring stuff. What is a commercial? I forgot the word advertisement. Can tell you are pick and choosing. I'm not pick and choosing. Most of the time I don't I have to scroll down to Google searches. Most of this stuff is actually like, I don't even like, most of it is me clicking on bookmarks. I skip over the, like, Google most of the time. I spend most of my time on, like, YouTube or Twitch or TikTok. And so, which I all have bookmarked. So I actually have to scroll through lots of pages of tons of TikTok and Google, or not Google, and Twitch and YouTube to get to the next Google search. Yeah, anyway. I don't Google like an old person, I swear. But no, for real, it just feels like the ads don't know who they're targeting. Because I don't care about, like, anything I'm advertised. So I just never get advertised remotely. Who do? The WoW quest was... Grr, now I'm gonna have to fucking look up that WoW quest. If we're going there, we're gonna go there then. I will look up the WoW quest, and I will tell you why I thought it was I couldn't figure it out. Who is the voice actor of a game made 25 years ago? Okay, you know what? Parappa the Astrobot just came out. It was because of Astrobot. Grr. Oh, and for the record, the quest I was trying to figure out was bugged. You actually could, the thing is, the 30-year-old one. Okay. Anyways, the quest I had to look up was bugged. Because you have a secret quest item inventory. So that you can still pick up quest items in World of Warcraft, even if you, don't have enough room in your bags. And what happened is I picked up quest items when my inventory was full, and thus I couldn't use them to combine them into the item I actually needed to turn into the quest, because you're supposed to gather 30 of them and then merge them together into a different item, and then you turn that item into for the quest. But all of my stuff were in the inaccessible quest item inventory, so I had to do I actually had to do a special command in the chat box to use it to get the item, the correct item to turn in. Because apparently that item was not meant to be, because you have to use that item, it was not actually meant to go into the one quest inventory. I was actually supposed to just be unable to pick them up. and I would have had to have removed something from my inventory. Does that make sense? So I actually did have to look that up because I was stuck on that quest. It was bugged. Just gonna... Grr! Tomorrow is the last we ever see Cell and Syl again. For a week. We'll be back literally like next week. Pokey is tagging in, don't worry. Yeah, you'll have Pokey to go bother. You can go hang out with Bongo. Bongo, Pokey. Is it long? That's not that long. I will say, I do really regret not actually getting anything done with, like, I wanted to have stuff done so that, I really wanted to have stuff done so that you guys would get, like, videos on YouTube while I was gone, but I just never got around to actually recording anything. So I am sorry about that. But yeah, also, Sai, I'm pretty sure you can just DM us. You're a mod here. Like, you were in the good to DM era phase. But I do say, sadly, this is where I have to end, because I have to go get to work. Or wait. Yeah, this is where I have to end, so I have to go get to work. Sadly. So, I will be seeing you guys again tomorrow morning, probably. You're a fired mod here. Oh yeah, you fired Sai. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, tomorrow we're either gonna do another one of these just chatting streams, or we might do the Calorie Mate game just because I thought it was funny. Also, I'm just pretty sure I won't want to play the rest of that, so that's a big hunk of why I join you in VR chat. I don't think you'll be streaming when I'm free to stream. So, this is when I have to be done by. So, like, you should know, like, are you going to be on VR chat this early? Because I don't actually believe that. Yeah, that's actually the funny thing with Sai, is that Sai has never messed up here. 5 a.m. Wednesday, don't worry. Yeah, I'll quit my job. I play 7 a.m. on Wednesday. So, I guess for me, that would be, like, what? That's 3 hours after you? So, yeah, I play at 8 a.m. And I'll be there by 9, or 9 that, local time. Wait, what mistakes have you made in the Discord, Sai? Wait. Um. I banned you? Wait. Anyway, I'm gonna quickly find us somebody to, raid real quick, and we'll call it a night for today. Let's see here. politician meme. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just try to avoid stuff like politics in my server. No politics, no religious stuff, nothing that can make people uncomfy. I say, as we actually talked about politics kind of earlier today on stream. But it's different when I start it. No waiting, I see. Well, Sil, hurry up. Maybe you can be the person I raid then. I don't have 10 minutes. Been driving and that's dangerous, Sil. Don't do that. um, hmm. Here, these are some interesting people. Hold on, I will check them real quick. Um, honestly, you know what? I know who to raid. You know, this is like 3 times in a row you log off when I show up. I'm sorry, Wayward. I swear it is not on purpose. It's feeling personal at this point. It really is not on purpose, I swear. I think I really, you know what the sad part is? Is my stuff is regular enough that I should just post a schedule. Like I have a set ending time for most days. So I probably should just post a ending time. Or like I should have it posted somewhere. And that way, at the very least, you can see it's not personal. What? Alright, so... But yeah, But we are gonna raid Federation! So, thank you all so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I had fun. I hope you guys did as well. Once again, I am very sorry that, we are ending so soon. That it was a little bit short today. Yep, he's a streamer. He's a VTuber, even. But, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had a sell of a time. If you enjoyed the show and you haven't yet, please give a follow. It really helps with the algorithm and my self-esteem. Join the Discord if you haven't yet. Discord. Follow me on socials. VTubers. Actually, I will say, this is probably your chance to watch Instagram, which I believe I have on that link tree there. Because I think this is, like, while I'm at TwitchCon, I'm probably most likely to post on Instagram and Twitter. But anyways, Patreon. Check out my Patreon if you would like. And check out the merch. Hopefully new stuff. I have plans for new stuff on the Patreon and for merch in the future. But anyways, I hope you have a wonderful night. Goodbye, everybody.